Let's get physical. It's April 24th until the 28th. Before we get into it though, I have something rather fun to announce. You may have seen me post about a Kickstarter for a book about the original Game Boy on the 33rd anniversary of the console's release. Why am I talking about it? Because I'm in it. Somebody actually paid me money to write something about the Game Boy. I can't believe it either. It's a cool looking coffee table book with loads of musings about the Game Boy and the best games on the system, with loads of industry writers much more talented than myself talking about it. 200 pages of well designed and well written goodness. The editor is very experienced and put together many books over the years, and this looks like it's going to be really snazzy, especially because I'm in it. I mean, the page doesn't say I'm in it, because obviously you would want to hide that from the public. I don't blame them, but I am in it, I promise. And if you want to pre-order it via Kickstarter, check the link in the description. I also get double paid if you click that link and pre-order, which is nice. Go check it out, the Game Boy is awesome. Alright, this week's physical Switch games. Afterimage is releasing this week. This looks to be a pretty gorgeous looking action exploration game, often known as a Metroidvania. I'm really trying to wean myself off that phrase, but this does look particularly good, although it's not out yet, so there are no reviews to go by, but it's got a cute girl on the cover, so does it really need to be good? The art style is great, and the trailer has got me fairly excited, something to look forward to. And our executive producers, Cartoon Soren, Dane Wilkinson, and Viz have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you're in North America and you want to pick this up or any of the retail games in this episode, check the links in the description and pinned comment. You can buy from Video Games Plus and support us at the same time. Remember, they have worldwide free shipping over 80 Canadian dollars, and the standard shipping, that's pretty cheap as well, at least to the US, and they're just a really nice company. And anyone who buys something with our links each week, they will be put into a draw to win a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is David B. Congratulations, you will get an email from VGP very soon with your discount coupon. Tales of the Neon Sea is releasing this week in Europe. This has been out in Japan and Asia a while already, and I've talked about it multiple times before, so I'll just be brief in saying I haven't seen anything about a North American release, sadly. It's Tessura Games, so there's like a 80% chance it won't, but you know, maybe you can wait and find out. And our executive producer, Thorn Metal Luna, and Alex M, they've chosen this as their pick of the week. Fairy Fencer F Refrain Chord is a tactical JRPG releasing this week. I've actually been playing this. The publisher sent me 2 codes for some reason. I wasn't actually planning on playing it or reviewing it, but you know, when somebody sends you 2 codes, I mean, I almost feel obligated at that point. I felt a bit guilty and started playing it. It's actually pretty good. I'm quite impressed by it. Not impressed by the story because it's a bit crap in that regard. Too much banter and jokes and not enough getting on with stuff, but the gameplay is top notch. It's different to the original Fairy Fencer F, which is also on the Switch. That was not a strategy RPG, but this one is. And thankfully this runs much better on the Switch as a result. The gameplay is good, and I might make a quick video on it, like not a proper review, but like an impressions video. But yeah, you might like this if you enjoy Compile's usually breezy dialogue, and our executive producer Issa has chosen this as his pick of the week. Trinity Trigger is releasing in the US this week. This caught me off guard. I've always had my eye on the European release, which is next month. I had no idea it was releasing in North America earlier. I thought it was a bit weird when somebody asked me if I was in the middle of reviewing it, like weeks in advance. But yeah, I'm not reviewing it because I'm just busy, and when it does come to the European release, it's too late. This game is made by an all-star team, and it's gunning for some Secret of Mana vibe. It's published originally by Furyu, so there's obviously going to be something quite budgeted about it, but you know, I'd be excited to play this one if I had the damn time. It looks really great, and our executive producers Parsnip Coffee, Precision Plague, Robotech, Alexander Cato, and Jennifer M have chosen this as their pick of the week. Spooky Spirit Shooting Gallery is a very quirky release that I was not expecting to happen. This released in Japan ages ago, and I always wanted it to get an English release because it's just something really different, and it did. And bizarrely, it's getting a physical release as well. Proof that anything can happen and anything can get a physical release. I love these arcade games, and I love the fact that I won't have to pay £1 for 1 life and 30 seconds of playtime. I can just pay $30 and play as long as I want, squirting all day without a worry in the world. And I don't need to use a germ-ridden plastic gun in the arcades. Yeah, you can play it without the crust of a 5-year-old snot on it. Bliss! And our executive producer, Punky Dooster, has chosen it as his pick of the week. Family Fun Night. Do you like family? Do you like fun? Do you like the sun going to sleep? Well, this may be the perfect game for you, although it looks a bit crap. It has 14 board games to make you feel bored, and you can play as 6 different family members. Grandpa, grandma, mom, dad, boy or girl. I guess pets aren't part of the family where these developers are from. Says more about them than they realized. Bramble, the Mountain King, looks like an atmospheric adventure game with hints of horror. Not exactly what I was expecting when I first read the name. I was thinking of a nice ramble up a hill while eating some fresh blackberry pie. It's making me hungry just thinking about it. But no, there's scary old nude ladies and trolls and stuff. Kinda ruined the Sunday morning mood, to be honest, but maybe the game is good, we'll have to see. It's got some European folklore running through its veins. God, I haven't had like blackberry pie in years. So hungry. I'm hoping this runs well on the Switch, and our executive producer, Totally Grateful, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Fight Crab is losing its import exclusiveness. After much delay, the North American version of Fight Crab is releasing physically this week, coming in a Sheller Awesome edition, which looks like they didn't shrimp on the extras. It's fine, I'll throw myself out of the window when I've edited this together. This is a peculiar fighting game that has you controlling limbs individually, wielding all sorts of weapons like lightsabers and such. It's a lot of fun, incredibly bizarre, and I reviewed it years ago if you want to check that out. I don't think we're going to ever see this at EVO, to be honest, if that still exists. Didn't they have like one controversy which meant they had to nuke the entire thing, or am I misremembering that? I don't know, so many naughty people at video game events, and our executive producer God of Resin has chosen this as his pick of the week. Toy Soldiers HD looks to be getting a retail release in Europe this week. You may remember it was handled by Limited Run in North America. And there's also My Life Riding Stables 3, which I think is also releasing in Europe this week too, maybe, can't be asked to check properly. Alright, the low prints. Sky Racket is One Print Games' latest release. You may remember we announced this quite a long time ago. I think it was like late last year. We unveiled it alongside In Other Waters and Slap City. It's taken a while to go up for pre-order because, well, now they have it in stock. They're taking the super rare approach, which is the best method in my opinion, and you can grab the limited edition on their website, or there is a cover variant on Play Asia. Technically this is 2-in-1 for low print and import since they're from Singapore. But yeah, this is a mix of shooter and block breaker, which after playing Kirby's Block Ball, I realized I do enjoy block breakers. And our executive producer Boombox has chosen this as his pick of the week. The Spirit and the Mouse is Super Rare's latest Switch release. This is a 3D platform adventure game starring a mouse. Games are just full of vermin these days. Is there something in the water? Well, thankfully, this one looks pretty good. Your mouse has been electrified, and no doubt the Pokemon Company will be in touch very soon with their lawyers telling you to stop copying Pikachu. Don't know why they didn't just do a Wombat. Electrified Wombat, just cut the issue straight away, it's gone. 4,000 copies available on Thursday, don't miss out, it looks pretty great actually. Bud Spencer and Terence Hill, Slaps and Beans 2, is a bit of a miracle that something like this actually exists. A modern licensed tie-in to a 50-year-old like Italian movie. And not only that, but this is a sequel, so the original game must have been a success. Fingers crossed this opens up more devs to make games about random old movies. There's another 50-year-old movie that you probably haven't heard of, but I think it might do well in terms of having video games about it. Star Wars, maybe you've not heard of it. It sounds crap and cheesy, but really, I think the potential's there. Indie developers, get on that. Look it up. Look up Star Wars. I'm pretty sure you could, get a deal making a game about it. Wouldn't be too difficult. Anyways, beyond all reason, this is getting a retail release. This collector's edition, though, is exclusive to strictly limited games, and our executive producer, Offone, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Trip World DX is from Limited Run Games. This is an old-ass Game Boy game that I actually played on my 3DS. I found it to be, alright, massively fiddly to play. I didn't play it for very long. Anyways, it's not the easiest Game Boy game to get a hold of, and Limited Run have stuck it on a Switch cartridge. But the selling point is not the original, it's the new colorized version, which includes better music, better visuals, and stuff. Interesting one for an incredibly obscure game, I suppose. There's a standard and collector's edition available on Friday, and our executive producer Instacritic has chosen this as his pick of the week. Revenant Saga and Revenant Dogma is a mildly pointless release from Limited Run. Two Kemco JRPGs for $40 when the Asian releases have 4 games for less. And these two Revenant games are already included in some of the Japanese releases. Saga is on Volume 1 and Dogma is on Volume 2, so I don't think these two stand out massively enough to deserve their own purchase. You might as well just get the Asian or Japanese releases. Or, I mean, if you do want this, I'm not going to begrudge you, you can pre-order it on Tuesday. And I also want to give a quick shout out to Super Dungeon Maker. Last week, I said the pre-order date wrong in the video. It was 72% my fault, but anyways, it's available to order right now via the links in the description. Alright, the imports, we're heading into Play Asia territory, and if you want to import any of the games shown in this section, then please consider using the links in the description and pinned comment. That's always the #1 way to support us via Play Asia. And yeah, if you click our link and try to buy something, you can also get 5% off with our current discount code SWTV23. That's all one word, SWTV23 for 5% off. But this week, Mugen Souls is being sent out by Play Asia. It's exclusive to them in a standard and collector's edition. Now this is a fairly old PS3 JRPG that's now including all the content that was originally censored from the Japanese release. So if you enjoy rubbing lollies in a bathtub, well, I've got the game for you when you're incarcerated. The game itself, the story, is all out bonkers, just like a Fairy Fencer F. It's from Compile. It's kind of what you're going to get, but at least this is all out dumb, as you're a goddess who wants to conquer the universe. The gameplay is pretty good, a bit overwhelming, since there's way too many things going on. It's not a great game, but if you want a cheeky time, it's probably one to go for. I will have a review of this later this week, and our executive producer JCross7776 has chosen this as his pick of the week. SD Shin Kamen Rider Rumble is finally releasing in Asia this week. It seems this version was delayed compared to the Japanese release, which came out a couple of months back. That version did not have English, but this version does. And it looks to be a cute little beat 'em up starring the famous Kamen Riders, who are famous for riding Kamen Electra like a horse. Anyone who can do that deserves my respect. I hope I get a chance to play this because it looks like simple, charming fun. Remember, the Japanese version does not have English, but the Asian release does. Check the links in the description. And our executive producer Brent McLean has chosen this as his pick of the week. Fortress S is releasing in Japan this week with English. Play Asia does not state that, but it does. I don't know too much about it, but it looks like a party game in the same vein as Worms, battling each other on a 2D plane. But this time it has story mode and mini-games alongside that classic party gameplay. Looks like it could be a fun one, and it's not releasing physically in the West, at least not that's been announced. And our executive producer, our man in Japan, Vei, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Japan, they're still going nuts over there. They have these games as well, and either we have them already or they don't have English. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed we get the East game. That would be a great way for me to play the third game in for a bit more Jordan. Would be nice. Plus I've heard it's a great game as well. Now there's no community spotlight this week because I'm working this weekend and I've got so much to do. Good times. But hey, I'm almost over the finishing line for the teaching year. I'm almost free and I can enjoy my life for a few months and work on a bit more Jordan. So yeah, anyway, I have your pictures. I have them already. You don't need to send any more. I have a lot of Final Fantasy Pixel remasters that I can show to you the week after, okay? Special thanks to our executive producers Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Issa, Vei, Mental Traveler, Offphone, Viz, Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Play, Katacha, Ozgolo, Totally Grateful, and Alex M, plus you. Yeah, you're watching right now. If you watched all the way through, please leave me a germ emoji in honor of all the germs I won't be touching thanks to the Spooky Spirit Shooting Gallery releasing physically on the Switch. Yeah, I don't need to go to an arcade anymore. Alright, check out some of our other stuff. We've got a lot of stuff. Buccaneer review, that's probably out, right? And my brain's not functioning at this minute because I've got a lot of things going on in my head. But yeah, check the stuff out, okay? And of course, please go to A Bit More Jordan. It's growing very nicely indeed, and yeah, I hope I can do this full time next year.